Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. What's going on? It's Monday. I didn't get time this weekend to do the review of the CBSI Hot 10 list, so I figured I'd do it now. Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. Hopefully my audio is working properly. You never know. Sometimes it doesn't work the best. Yeah, let's dive into it here. I just had a busy weekend. My daughter's birthday was this past weekend and just involved doing a bunch of family stuff. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look what they got for us here. Good old, is it Peter still? Is Peter still doing the list? Good old Peter. We don't know anything about Peter other than his first name, but he is responsible for this list. It's an okay list. I think there's a couple on there that I agree with. But we'll start off with the honorable mentions. Of course, the formula is very simple. They take an old book, a golden age book, typically, and then another book that's a little bit more modern. And a lot of times lately, I've been noticing it's been graded books, typically mostly graded books that show up on this honorable mention list. So the first one here is This Magazine is Haunted, number 16. Steve Ditko cover art. That's nice. 9.2. Ooh, that's a high grade copy, especially for a 10-cent book. Is that a 10-center? It's golden age. Sold for 28,800. There are only 2 copies in 9.2 grade, apparently nothing higher than that. Yeah, it's kind of a cool cover. I mean, first of all, it's a Ditko cover. Ditko did a lot of work in the horror business. I think he did. Did he do some covers for EC? I can't remember. I used to know more about Ditko, but I know when he came to Spider-Man, he was not early in his career. He was kind of in the middle range of his career. He wasn't a new artist, that's for sure. So there you go. Yeah, it's kind of a cool cover. I like it. 9.2, super high grade. Yeah, there's only apparently 2 copies. So it's good news for the other guy that still has the other copy. He's probably thinking, maybe I can get 40,000 in another year or two. All right, the next one here is Fantastic Four number 110. This is a green printed cover. Apparently it was an air cover. Yeah, it definitely makes it look a little bit more trippy. Sold for $5,400, a 9.6. Up significantly since the last sale of a 9.6 back in 2017. That one sold only for 1,000. Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty good buy. I didn't even know about this book. You know, there's always these little things in comic books, air printings. Obviously, I know about the Venom black cover, and there's several that I'm aware of. But yeah, I wasn't really aware of this one. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So it was green instead. It probably should have been blue. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And they got the thing colored green too. So I don't know. Or was it supposed to be yellow? The yellow got colored green or something? I don't know. Something happened. A little screw up in the printing process. But it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's kind of a novelty thing. I don't think there's anything specific about that issue that I don't think there's any first appearances or any key comic book stuff in that issue. Just kind of a cool cover. Yeah, I can see why someone might be willing to pay up for that. All right, number 10 on the list, Cobra Commander, number 1. This is the 1 in 100 variant by John Boy Myers. Yeah, I like it. You got, first of all, you got Megatron in the background there. I think that's pretty cool. It's a foil. Apparently, there's a consistent issue with this foil cover. The top left-hand corner has, I've seen a lot of the copies on eBay definitely have a blunting of that corner. So I don't know if CGC is going to allow, I don't know how if you get it graded, if they're going to overlook that because most of the copies have it. Um, just so if you don't believe me, go take a look at not the listings with the stock cover, but the listings with the actual photo of the book. You'll see that left-hand corner, top corner, definitely has an issue in the printing process. So I don't know what happened with it. Usually image is pretty good, but sometimes these foil covers, sometimes they don't come off the press right. But yeah, about $170 to $180 for that book right now. Probably around 200 as we speak. More than double ratio. So congratulations, pat yourself on the back. Anybody that picked that up for $100 in the pre-order stage, you've done well. It definitely was one of those things that I think back when this was under pre-order, you knew it was a John Boy Myers cover. I think they did release that pretty early on, but they didn't have an image of it until the week of release because it was considered a spoiler cover. Spoiler being that Megatron's on the cover. So there you go. Yeah, I can see why people would be chasing that at the moment. I like it. I'd like to pick it up around $100, not 180 or a 200. So I'm going to give it some time. Maybe, who knows? I think there's a lot of printings on this first issue, though. So I don't think the book is going to be all that rare. I mean, there's at least a dozen copies on eBay at the moment. Probably more coming. So a lot of shops went heavy on Cobra Commander #1 and Duke #1. So I definitely think that this book is a little bit more available than you would think. So my bet on this is that the price of this book might drop down a little bit in the coming weeks. It may not, but I think it will a little bit. I don't think it's going to drop down to $100. You might be able to scoop one up for like 140, 150, maybe. That would be my opinion on that. Number 9 is Web of Spider-Man number 36. First appearance of Tombstone. Possible villain in the upcoming Spider-Man number 4. I think I have that book. I'm pretty sure. I think I do. I think I picked it up a couple years ago, pretty cheap. Yeah, I think it was under 10. It was under $10. So I believe I have a copy of that in the old collection. It's selling for about $20 to $25 at the moment. Number 8 is Amazing Spider-Man number 113. You got a John Romita Sr. cover there. Senior, much better than Junior, in my opinion. Again, another first appearance of a villain that potentially could be in an upcoming Spider-Man movie. Hammerhead. He's the guy with the big square blockhead. I don't know if he's definitely a C-list villain in my opinion, but yeah, he's kind of a mobster type of villain, kind of like a Kingpin villain. A second-rate Kingpin is what I would put him at. His recent appearances in the Gang War are probably driving some speculation. Mid-raws are around $50. 2 slabs in a 9.2 hit $170 or more. So it's a cool cover. I like the red and yellow with the black and white in the middle. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a good cover. Number 7 is Ghost Machine number 1. This is the 1 in 100 incentive variant by Jason Fabok. Yeah, it's a cool cover. I like a yellow cover. Selling for about 120 to 150 range. These are signed and numbered, by the way, I believe by Fabok, if I'm not mistaken. There were 775 copies based on the signatures. Since they're all signed and numbered by hand, it's exciting to start this new pocket universe over at Image. Readers seem to be buzzing with anticipation for this new endeavor over at Image. Yeah, it's a good cover. I like it. I like that it's a hand numbered type of thing too, so you kind of know what the print run is, right? You're not guessing how many copies are out there. Number 6 is Thrawn Alliances number 1. This is the 1 in 100. Half a dozen sales in the past week, ranging in between 140 and 175. There were 2 outlier sales, one at 250 and 270. Guess who was the 270? Guess who that was? Who do you think sold the one at 270? It was me, damn it. I'm the one that sold. I got a copy. I pre-ordered this bad boy with all the incentives, which is risky, definitely risky. And I sold that one and the trade dress, which is I think like the C cover maybe. So it's a Turin Clark cover. So there's basically that Virgil 1 in 100, and there's also a trade dress version of it, which is either cover C or E or D. I can't remember exactly what cover it was, but it wasn't an. It's the other one was just like a trade dress, regular order FOC book. I sold them together for 270, and someone bought it. So I had it listed for maybe 2 days, and it sold pretty quickly. And shipped the book off. It came in mint condition. I took a photo of the books and put it on my Instagram. So if you're interested in seeing what it looks like, go check out my Instagram. I got both copies there. But yeah, I owned it for a split second. But I did so well on selling it, those 2 copies for 270. It paid for all the other incentive books from that issue. So I've got the 1 in 25. I've got the photo variant and the regular A cover. So basically, the profit alone paid for those other books, which is nice. So yeah, my cost basis on those other books is 0, which is always a good thing. Number 5 on the list is Amazing Spider-Man number 210. This is the first appearance of Madam Web. Of course, that movie is launching. I've seen the trailer on it. It looks okay, I guess. I don't know. 30 sales this past week. It says a bunch of the comics related to this film are seeing the slight bump ups from the first Ezekiel to the other Spider-Women, but this one featuring the title character had a 50% jump in sales from the prior week. 9/8 hit 750. So that's pretty high. Yeah. I have a couple raw copies. I have a direct and a newsstand edition, both in super high grade. I would say my copies are at least 9.6. I'm not going to say they're 9.8, but I'll never tell you I have a 9.8 because I know how subjective grading can be. But yeah, I've got 2 high grade copies of that. I bought them years and years ago before there was ever any rumor of that character showing up in a movie. Who knows? I mean, the likely what's going to happen is once the movie's out, people move on to new and better things. So the price will probably drop on this book, if I had to guess. So just so you know the formula, you want to buy a comic book first appearance of a character when nobody is thinking or talking about it. And when they start to talk about it, you want to hold off, don't sell it right away. You want to sell, if you're looking to sell one of your books, you want to sell it when the trailer of that character shows up in a movie trailer. That's the bell ringing at the top. They always say that about the stock market. No one rings a bell at the top of the stock market. Well, for the most part, they do in the comic book world, and it's when the trailer drops of a particular character in a new movie. That's the bell ringing. So, but I'm not selling my copies. I like them long term. I think I'm just going to hold on to them. That's a classic villain for Spider-Man to be fighting against, and yeah, I'm going to hold on to it. I don't have any reason to sell it. All right, number 4 on the list is Thrawn Alliances number 1. This is the 1 in 25. This is one of the incentive covers that I received. That's paid for because I sold the Turin Clark one, selling around 40 to 50 bucks. There was a high sale at $67. That wasn't me. I didn't sell my copy. I'm gonna hold on to this. I like the cover. It's a cool looking cover. Cover is by Paul Renaud. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, I read the issue. It's good. Um, the guy co-writing it, I think, is a former. He's written a lot of the Star Wars novels. Timothy Zahn, Zahn. He's done several of them. Shadows of the Empire, I think, was him. I can't remember all the books, but if you look him up, Timothy Zahn, Zahn, he's a good writer and also co-writing it with Jody Houser. But so far I've read the issue and I enjoyed it. I'm looking for forward to the second issue. So I will be collecting at least the A covers. I don't know that I'm going to collect all the incentives, but definitely the A covers for sure. I'm going to be collecting. Number 3 is Ultimate Spider-Man #1, Jonathan Hickman. This is the regular A cover by Chichetto. Yeah, it's one of the better covers. Kind of has that classic look to it. Selling around $80 right now. Yeah, it was $50 to $60. I think lately I looked last night and I think $75 to $80 is like if you're looking to do a buy it now, I think it's around 75 to $80. Now, if you're trying to buy it on auction, you might be able to pick it up for $50 to $60 on an auction. There seems to be a lot of copies out there. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be that scarce. Supposedly, retailers were shorted on the A cover and the black suit cover, but there's a lot of. I mean, the black suit definitely seems to be shorted. The A cover seems to be more plentiful than they're leading on. So I don't know. 300 sales in the past week. That's a lot. So I don't think it's all that rare, but I think some people still think it is. I don't know. Peter says some lots even sold as many as seem to be cashing in on the heat this title has at the moment. It's even created a stir in the previews edition that you can find. Yeah, there was a previews, a free. Isn't that free? The previews, I think it's free at comic book shops. Those are being sold for like $25, $30 on eBay right now. Number 2 of said book is Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This is the black suit cover. Looks like there was a sale last week of $120 raw. But looks like currently, if you go on eBay right now, it's selling over $100. So it says people are also pre-selling 9.8s. I don't know what they're pre-selling those at, but yeah, well, you got to be pretty confident. First of all, you probably submitted more than a few copies if you're pre-selling 9.8s from CGC, right? Yeah. But I think of the 2 covers, yeah, it's definitely a good I like it a little bit better than the A cover. It's just cool. It's the black suit. I mean, I understand. Why do people want that cover more than the other one? Yeah, because it's better. It's cooler looking. I don't know. It's just a nice cover. I like it. All right, number 1 on the list, Ultimate Invasion #1. This is the second print by cover artist R.B. Silva. This was a book that no one was paying attention to just a couple weeks ago. This was probably a dollar bin book, if I had to be completely honest. I don't remember seeing this book, but it came out a while back. It's the first appearance of this new version of Ultimate Spider-Man, and also first cover appearance. So I think the second print has 2 things going for it. I don't think the cover's all that great, but it's a hot book at the moment. $30 to $40 seems to be the average sale price of this book right now. I don't know how plentiful there are. It says there were over 200 or more sales in the past week. So yeah, I mean that might be one book you may want to check and see if your LCS has it. They might have it in the back issue bin. You never know. I think Manny the Comic Collector picked a couple up real cheap. I think I remember seeing him post about that. He always seems to find that, and he's got a really good local comic book shop near him. I think at least a couple of them that he has that are available to him, which is nice. I don't really have that luxury where I live, but I have to do most of my online purchasing instead of the local comic book shop, which I would love to support if I had one local. That'd be nice. So that's it, guys. There's your hot 10 list. Yeah, I like it. There's some good books on there. Most of them are books that have just come out, which is typical, right? Those are the books that people are thinking of buying right now. Yeah, so let's take a look at the chat real quick. We got GTK Comic in the house. He is saying Avengers Twilight #1 cover A is heated up. I think it's the first appearance of a new Iron Man, and it made the cover price top 10. Very nice. Yes, I think there's also a really cool issue 2 has a really nice cover by Phil Noto with Iron Man on it. That looks really awesome. So yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about the writing on that issue. So I do have a couple issues coming to me that I pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered the A cover, if I remember right. I definitely grabbed that Phil Noto cover though. So I'm looking to see if that does well. Jiki Comment says if they ever announce Tosin in a Marvel movie, my Black Panther #3, 1 in 25 goes on the bay. That's right. Yeah, I have a bunch of those too. I've got one copy of the 1 in 25, but I've got 27 copies of issue #3. But I only paid like I think $10 a piece for them, so I think I'm still in a profit on that. I think they are selling around $30 to $40 maybe on eBay. But that was a $75 book. What, a year or two ago, year and a half ago, maybe, when there was more uh, positivity towards the fact that he might show up in a Black Panther movie. I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever make another Black Panther movie. Um, Maybe that character, I don't know. I just don't see it. Chadwick Boseman was so good at that role that I can't see Marvel touching that character for a while. So yeah, I would love to see that Black Panther #3 take off again, but it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. I definitely wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Same for Department of Truth. There you go. Yep. Ultimate Spider-Man second print, third print, 1 in 25 Virgin. Those books have legs. Yeah, I think that one could do well. I have seen that for sale around $50, which is about double ratio. I don't know who gets these for ratio. Typically, if you're doing a second printing 1 in 25 incentive cover, most shops might take double for it, but man, by the time it gets out on Midtown, Midtown will have it for like $75 or $80, so it'll be 3 to 4 times ratio by the time it shows up on Midtown. I would say, if you can find it for $50, it might be worth the speculation on it. Maybe that book sells for $75 to $80 the first week it releases. But yeah, I've heard it's just a Virgin variant of the A cover is what I've heard. So it'd be kind of cool if they did like a color splash on it, or maybe change it up a tad more. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't want to shell out money for the first print, so there will definitely be a lot of orders for the second print. Third print, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, GTK Comics says second print is heating up. Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah, we'll find out. I think the second print comes up for sale pretty soon on Midtown. Midtown will probably have them available next week or this week for release of next week. I'll verify that again. I'll be doing a new Comic Book Day video this Wednesday, basically this Wednesday, and if it's on the list for the following week, I'll be highlighting it. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch all my new Comic Book Day videos. I put them out every Wednesday evening or Wednesday afternoon. I will definitely talk about that if it ends up showing up on the list for the next week. I'll make sure to highlight it. But there's your list, guys. There's your top 10 CBSI list. It's not bad. I think Peter did an okay job. but pretty typical. I don't know how many weeks this Ultimate Spider-Man book's going to be on the top 10, but I would think at least another couple weeks until something new comes out. So, um, yeah, Marvel's dominating, right? I mean, they're dominating the list. They got what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight of the top 10 are all Marvel books. No DC books to be found, and only two independents. You got basically two Image books. Everything else is Marvel. So Marvel, make mine Marvel. I guess Marvel's dominating right now. DC once in a while has a nice cover, but I don't think their stories are that great. I think Batman's the only title I'm consistently collecting from DC. I mean, once in a while I'll pick up a DC cover that I like, but reading the book is an afterthought. They just don't weave as good a story as Marvel does for the most part. Not that Marvel always writes the best either. I think some of the Marvel books are not the greatest of writing, but yeah, Marvel seems to be more popular. I mean, it has been for a while now. So does DC even care? I don't even think they care. That's the problem. It's hard to fix something when you just don't care, right? It's sort of like if the bumper on your car was hanging off and you don't care about it, it's probably not getting fixed. So, kind of what's happening to DC Comics of late. All right, guys, there's your list. There's your hot 10 list. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like button, give me a thumbs up on the video, like and share. That helps grow my channel. And make sure you're following me on Instagram. I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys soon.